Hello and welcome to the Blockchain Basement, place where we can all cuddle together in the crypto winter and just try to feel better about ourselves as we go through this bear market together. Joined with a fantastic group as well, but I wanted to give a quick shout out. We got Riddled with Puns, The Real Crypto Stevo, Ariel for Life, Urkelson. Let's see here. We got Bazaar, Colarity. I like that. Coolati. Is that how you say that?
Clarity is how I always say it.
Clarity?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we obviously, everyone knows we got Taco at the bottom right corner. We actually have Tyler, TJ's brother
Tyler
here.
Shed.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Fantastic human being, let me tell you. I've spent about 3 minutes talking to him, and I like him. We got Allie.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. And we got AJ running the board.
Hey.
He doesn't have Scary BJ next to him, so he might be a little bit more comfortable now. But
Got it.
you know, when people get comfortable, that's when dangerous things happen.
I think I got it. We'll be all right.
Think you got it?
What are we talking about today, dude?
Well, today, you know, we have some interesting stories. I wanted to talk about a little bit of the energy FUD. There's a good article, 2023 will be the death of Bitcoin energy FUD. Quite a bit to say about the energy relationship with Bitcoin, what I've read within the White House executive orders from he who shall not be named. But I got to keep in mind, he represents a bigger thing than just him. So we also are going to be looking at the Metaverse. Yeah, I mean, it's a little rough, but we're looking at different ways that we see that it's going to improve. As you may have seen from yesterday, I'm really standoffish on this thing until they figure it out. Non-generative NFTs are not my squeeze per se, but I do see a use case in the technology. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to look at the top 5 most Googled cryptocurrencies of 2022. These will be metrics looking at, you know, it honestly, when someone new comes into crypto in general, that's kind of the first place they'll Google, they'll look at, oh, thank you. I'm kind of a tall guy, but I slouch. So the angle's a little bit different, but the top 5 cryptocurrencies in 2022, kind of a surprising list. It's not what I expected, and kind of hilarious when you compare it to the social media tug of war that's going on right now. And then we're going to take a look at some chaotic things being done with this chat GBT, artificial intelligence, taking people's breath away. AJ, I know you've been messing around with this thing like crazy. What have you been up? Yeah, I've seen you.
No.
Yes.
I would not.
I've saw it.
I would not. So actually, the other night, I showed my girlfriend Jada the whole chat GBT thing, and she was going off.
Yeah.
She was like, write me a song about AJ. Or like, it was so dumb. And then everything she typed in, she felt the need to read out in its entirety. And I had myself a wonderful 4 hours of my life that I'll never get back. But hey, she's pretty cool.
I love her.
Gotta love her. Gotta love her. And last, we'll definitely get to this story. This is a pretty good one. It's the first non-EVM solution that has been brought near to MetaMask. So pretty cool integration. It's a project I've kept on my radar for a long amount of time. This is one of the ones I wish I had during the last run that may or may not look quite attractive for me in this current point in time. So let's check this out here. I want to dig into this energy one first. This is a good one. My computer coming up for you, AJ?
Bang.
Beautiful. Love it. So 2023 will be the death of Bitcoin energy FUD, becoming increasingly difficult to ignore how green Bitcoin mining can combat climate change. Now, before I just start rambling off words and stuff, I want to kind of focus on this relationship right now, how green Bitcoin mining can combat climate change. And one of the first things that comes to my mind is the balance of energy that's happening right now within Texas. Texas has an insulated proprietary energy grid. It's something that most people don't know, but Texas actually has its own energy grid. And they have been able to utilize Bitcoin mining energy output to actually offset energy needs when they have a massive influx of people running air conditioners and or heaters at a given time. Texas has the ability to turn off their miners, pay the miners for them being off, and then in turn bring up the basic energy grid so that they can handle the new capacity load requirements. Sounds like a mouthful, but basically it's just a balance of energy that Bitcoin mining and the energy grid has been working on finding for quite some time. We did a interview or a kind of a deep look at Clean Spark, who's here in Georgia. And what we found, one of the most interesting things about Clean Spark is that they actually started in renewable energies and expanded into Bitcoin. So they didn't get into Bitcoin and then try to figure out how to fit renewables into it. They came from renewables and they actively worked on just the marriage of the two as they built, which was super helpful to the company. And it's actually one of the things that was most interesting. One of the higher ups said to me is that, the Clean Spark making an entrance into Georgia in that specific location, a lot of the power grid was not adequate enough to actually get the energy Clean Spark needed. So they upgraded the entire energy grid in hand with Georgia to be able to upgrade that, which I thought was pretty cool.
I thought it was really funny during the interview. Ben did an interview at Clean Spark.
Yep.
And he was making fun of like climate change people. And they were like, actually, we're those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I love that. I was standing right there when he said that. And that like really speaks volumes to like what's going on right now. A lot of people have this disconnection where, Bitcoin mining is going to take away from their amazing energy grid that they have right now. The energy grid needs to be redone. And I definitely see a strong potential for a marriage of Bitcoin mining and our energy grid and oil production, actually. But let's see what this article says a little bit first. Now, we got here, Bitcoin saw plenty of ups and downs in 2022. One particular win was the growing acknowledgement that Bitcoin is good for humanity's relationship with energy and the environment. It is possible in 2023 is a year of energy FUD around Bitcoin finally dying. Now, this, I really feel like we have a potential to get over the Bitcoin energy FUD in relationship to the massive executive order that Biden put out. I think it was 4 months ago. I read through the whole thing like a total dork, and something that stuck out to me like 3/4 of the way through the write-up, the executive order, was the call for basically large oil producers like Exxon, Shell. I know that they're already involved with, Bitcoin mining. They're exploring that, as Mind Your Business pointed out. Obviously, they're still looking into it. But something in the fine print there in that executive order is actually a call for a major payment to come to Bitcoin mining companies that locate themselves on the oil field and capture the methane gas flare. methane gas flares are very, very detrimental to the environment in general. And yes, I'm a hard-sided beans and bullets guy, but I acknowledge science too. And methane gas flares make up 1% of the overall emissions in the world, just from America. So it would be extremely financially incentivized for these, not only the government, but the major companies that are already operating there and causing that 1%, to plug in a Bitcoin miner onto that methane flare, capture that energy, use it right then and there so that it's not lost into the atmosphere. And I think, this is my personal opinion, it's a big call, but I think that we're going to see basically a requirement for large energy to capture their methane flare with Bitcoin. And thank you for I forgot my sweater yesterday, so it was really nice.
That's a great sweater.
I
Thank
love
you,
that.
guys. Thank you.
Classic.
Hey,
Yep.
Drew, do you know who won the in-office ugly sweater contest?
Who? Oh, was it you? Don't tell
Oh,
me
I heard
it's
yours
you.
lit up.
It was me.
Unbelievable.
It was me. I took that dub. Just saying.
What?
Just saying.
Congrats.
Fantastic.
Congrats.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
I have a question from the chat about mining. Is
Okay.
it still worth getting into Bitcoin mining this late in the game? This is from the Seuss. Late being a perspective of mine that may be wrong. Someone with more mining experience, let me know if it's worth it. My new house closes on the 29th of December, and I'm going to have solar panels installed. What do you guys think? With miners selling equipment high right now, would be a good time to buy the equipment cheaper, I'd assume.
And this is obviously my opinion, but if you have a situation where you have solar panels, that's usually the thing that holds people back from, actually making money in a short term. That might get you to the cost basis you need, but you have a few things going on. Miners have sold a lot of their machinery, capitulating and kind of covering operational costs. So you do have that going for you. Then you have to think about the overall cost of energy in general. Doesn't look like it has, we are cooked down pretty low as far as gasoline. It's in and of itself, but natural gas and those things are separate. And I would be very cautious to be leaning into mining Bitcoin in the long term if it's at a small scale and you're paying a residential rate for that energy. No, I wouldn't say so. But if you have a different way to produce that energy, and in full, as far as the energy requirements, then that answer might change for me if I'm able to. It depends on how robust your solar system is, and obviously those aren't cheap. You're going to have a while until you see a return on that investment. But
it also, it also has to do with like the scale at which like you're willing to do this. Like, are you talking like a room full of miners or like a warehouse full of mining? Especially with the halving coming, like you're already looking at your returns getting cut in half in like the next year and a half, basically. And also, I would look into like coins that, like, I know Nick asked this question again when Nick, Crypto Sunglasses, is back down here. Ask that same question again, and he'll give you a different answer.
Right.
But I know that he mines like Neoxa, which is like a Raven coined fork that like has not pumped at all yet. So I would definitely look into like finding some other like sneaky proof of work coins that haven't popped off that you could like get a nice bag. And I think it would be a better use of your energy. At least if that's what Nick does, that's just what I would do. Yeah. And he knows much more about that situation than I do. So yeah.
Good insight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, going off of what AJ said, you got to look at it if you want to be like a hobbyist or if you want to like have this be your profession, because it's a lot of hardware. If you get more than 10, 15, 20, a couple of them go down, you got to replace the hardware. So yeah, you got to take all that into account. I know Justin here, he was thinking about getting one of those like freight things.
Is it a Connex?
Yeah, like the ones that are outside of our building right now, something that size.
Yeah.
And then doing like a natural gas mining rig.
That'd be interesting.
I actually saw like last Christmas time they were selling, I don't know like what the deal with these are, so I actually saw like in-home like heaters for your house that also mine Bitcoin.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It was like $700 or something like that, and I was like super skeptical. But do you guys know anything about that at all?
I was actually talking with one of those type of companies for like sponsor content. They're gonna send us some, but Nick said to hold off until they move their pool from NiceHash to another mining pool, because I guess NiceHash is used a lot by scammers, like pump and dumpers. So yeah, it'd be really cool. Just have like a heater that's a space heater plus a Bitcoin mining. That's
Someone said, make it
cool.
a sauna room.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get like
right?
10 of them, and then you have your own sauna.
And that the Neoxa was like a proof of gaming, wasn't it, AJ? It was
Yeah.
like proof of gaming. It had the connection to
The
GTA.
Raven coin fork.
Grand Theft Auto server, I
Yes.
think.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
That's a pretty good DGen play for me. Like that's the only thing that I would be looking at mining. I keep bugging Nick for hardware and parts and the know-how basically to get me and Johnny going. But yeah, we're looking into that. And I'm not looking personally at mining Bitcoin or I'm looking at mining Ethereum or not Ethereum, Neoxa.
Doge.
No, I'm not.
Doge, yeah.
The Ethereum train's left the boat.
Raven
OFAC
coin.
has them under control, just my personal opinion, but it's still going to have its place, I'm sure. So let's check out this. Let's check out what this thing said a little bit more here. So-called green Bitcoiners, interesting, made themselves heard over the past 12 months and they've brought this novel idea to the fore. Troy Cross, professor of philosophy at Reed College in Oregon and a fellow at the Bitcoin Policy Institute, has broached several ideas on Bitcoin mining and energy, in which Bitcoiners are still wrestling. So it's definitely an ongoing situation. There's a lot of tussle. They're trying to figure out how this relationship is really going to work. Together with Yale professor of philosophy Andrew Bailey, Cross has been arguing that Bitcoin miners have a sort of moral duty to uphold related to Bitcoin and the environment. They say their ideas are the way to invest in Bitcoin without contributing even slightly to unsustainable Bitcoin mining. Now, when we talk about what's unsustainable and not, this is a conversation we hear, we hear it in the 80s, the 70s, the world's going to be over with, the tides are going to rise. Meanwhile, Obama just bought a $25 million house right on the beach in Florida. Don't tell me that he did that thinking that the tides are going to rise, right? Okay. But
Not to mention all real estate prices in general.
right. Like,
Yeah.
So you got to take that with a grain of salt. Unsustainable, I'd say, would come in the form of energy cost more so. There's a way that Bitcoin has to find a place within the energy grid that is useful. And that's why I think the White House is so poignant on the methane gas captures. Vosk, I see your comment, Bubba's. Yes, Vosk just pumped Evergreen miners. They're plug and play. Mine and Chia, anyone involved with that. I haven't heard of that. I'm willing to check it out. One thing on the subject of Vosk, okay, he was heavy in advertising that Syncrobit mess, which has now turned into a gargantuan lawsuit where many people paid thousands of dollars and never received their mining equipment. So be very careful when you're looking at that. One of the big channels trusted it. I don't think it was his fault or anything like that. Syncrobit was just I think it was a scam out of a strip mall in Ottawa. So chasing that down was tough. But the dawn of green energy companies, several Bitcoin-focused companies launched with the mandate of proving the viability that Bitcoin blockchain could contribute to fighting climate change through competition and free markets. Synoda, for instance, was founded this year and raised $3 million in a seed round to pursue its mission. And we see a lot of ESG requirements going on right now for major companies. There's a lot of money in the carbon credit industry. There's a lot of money in basically appearing to be energy efficient. Like Amazon is apparently a green company, even though they have 10,000 minivans in any single city at a given time. That's very green according to their carbon credits they paid for.
And really, just to chime in here, like there's so many coins. Like, I've done a research on 1,000 different coins, and all the coins that do like the carbon credit thing. Let's be honest. This is all optics.
Yeah.
This is all
Absolutely.
optics. They want VC money. And, while Bitcoin, on the other hand, has senators writing letters about why they should switch to proof of stake like Ethereum, these other coins are like, oh, well, we don't want that negative attention. So we're going to pay these people. So we're carbon neutral and all that. And I know, it is good for the environment, but it's more for optics. So just keep that in mind. I always think about that kind of stuff.
Yep. I mean, it's a tough to call. Taco, do you have what do you think? Is there going to be a Shell Exxon marriage in 2023? Are we going to see that? Thoughts?
A Shell Exxon marriage?
With Bitcoin mining? Are we going to see the energy industry dig into this?
I think if there's money to be made, if they can use their energy without You know, if it costs more in energy to mine the Bitcoin than the actual Bitcoin, I don't think they will. But
Right.
if it's profitable, I think it's a no-brainer to use excess energy to, mine Bitcoin.
That's where my head's at. I mean, they're dealing with the methane flares. It's going into the air. It's wasted and useless. They get yelled at for doing it, and they can make money by capturing it and get incentive to put the machinery there to begin with. So it kind of looks like a win-win for me.
I know there was this Vice episode. They were going into Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining, energy, and that's exactly what they were doing. They were using, I think it was fracking, right? That's what it's called.
Fracking is just it's a way to get the oil up out of the ground. The methane flares I'm talking about are, out of the pipe that comes up, and then you see that gigantic flame ball.
Yeah. That's what they're using.
Yeah.
My mistake. So they're capturing that energy and they're mining Bitcoin with it. And otherwise it would just be released into the air.
It's just a no-brainer for me. Like, I don't know. It definitely makes a lot of sense. And I hope that we get a pleasant surprise from our administration. I'm still hopeful for that, even though as salty as I remain.
To steelman it, you'll get those people that say, well, we should just remove those outright and we shouldn't even have this exist in the first place. Well, that's going to take a whole lot of money, a whole lot of power, manpower, time.
Right.
Whereas it's already there. So let's use it for a reason that is beneficial. So there's two sides to it. There's always going to be a Greta Thunberg.
It's DZ.
What,
Easy.
Welcome, DZ.
It is.
Come here, sit right
Join
on
us.
his head.
Come on in.
Okay, tag.
Oh, that was nice.
Come on in.
Yeah, we're having a interesting day at the office. TJ had to have a serious conversation with the tax people, so that's why he couldn't make it.
How you doing, D?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just ate some Moe's.
We're pontificating on, it's kind of a following up on Mind Your Biz. Remember what he was talking about, the methane gas flares, and I was all freaking out about the executive order and stuff like that. Kind of talking about the potential for our energy grid to have more connection to Bitcoin mining through those methane gas flares or things of that nature. Another thing that kind of came to my mind as a possibility, this might be just a hope and stuff like that, but our energy grid in and of itself needs to be upgraded, and, doing these kind of system updates, integrating Bitcoin mining in any way or shape across the board would take probably a little bit of rework to our transformers and our power lines, which definitely need the care and love. It's a big reason why I prepare for a grid down scenario. We have 9 main points of failure through our entire grid, and it doesn't take much. So I used to work at the power grid up in Colorado and watched a little bit of that go down, and I also got a little bit of insight into these blockchain mining companies trying to come and court the power grid company in Fort Collins. So I did see it coming even last year. But I mean, DZ, just, do you think that we're going to see Shell and Exxon give us some bullish news in 2023? Do you see any possibility of that
2023
within the next year?
I can see that. It's it's a long process when you're a big corporation like that. Exxon just can't. The CEO can really want to implement it, but he's not going to act like an Elon. They're going to go through proper channels. They're going to have meetings. Right. They're going to have meetings about the meetings, and then they're going to have meetings to what did we say to the board about the meeting that we just had on that previous meeting. And I could see 23 some of that finally working. Where Exxon, Houston power plant, Channelview, whatever. All right, now we have a Bitcoin rig. It would be slow but steady. So 23, I put it at 40% likelihood, slightly less than half.
Okay.
Polarity said, but isn't the problem the fact that the necessary components to do all of this are manufactured in China, where fossil fuel use is still the only method being used?
Oh, man.
We just went there.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Not at all. Wrong.
It's like
here's the thing. All right, yeah. So it's a lot of energy and there's like necessary components, and you make this Bitcoin rig, but then you have it running for years. And so is it a problem? Yeah, sure. It's not great, but we are opening chip facilities in America, and they're made in Taiwan. A lot of the necessary components are going to be made in Taiwan, not China. But I'm sure there's all types of components made in China.
But we need to make sure Taiwan doesn't get wrecked.
DZ, are those mining gloves?
I feel like how Zoolander felt in the in the cave. Yeah.
You got that? You got that?
That's my fault. I can't turn left.
Yeah, I mean, Taiwan's pretty sought after. We did see like Intel opening some new shops here in the U.S. We're trying to move into producing our own. It's going to cost more to produce the chips here in the U.S. and strengthen the relationship with Taiwan. That'd be great. That's going to cost us money on the naval side. But here in the U.S., if you want to pull lithium out, it's much more expensive process because of the APA guidelines that we have to abide by and that China does not have to abide by. So there's a difference in costs that we will experience, which might be bullish for buying, this hardware while it's so beaten down because chips are going to be pretty sought after, in my opinion. Speaking of China, we got just as when Chinese President Yi banned crypto and he only helped to prove how unstoppable the Bitcoin network was. Bitcoin's environmental critics are fostering a green revolution that will show how adaptable and sustainable Bitcoin can be. The meteoric rise of fresh research, voices, and visions of what Bitcoin could be demonstrate this. Yeah, it's, China's been banning Bitcoin intermittently pretty consistently for the last few years. So I don't really believe much of what China's president says, even less than what I believe ours says. So let's check this out, though. I want to check out the Metaverse. We had a Metaverse look at the top 5 coins. I'm pretty bearish on most of them on that list. Yesterday, I was feeling an eye for Ape Coin, and we'll be watching Theta for the pumps. But the Metaverse is awful today. Can we make it great? Yat sui. Big ideas. We spend half our lives on the internet, so we're already in an early version of the Metaverse. Very valid. I mean, if you look next to you while you're driving down the highway, more often than not, someone is sitting there staring at their phone. So something that I never imagined would be a reality when I grew up, people plugged into some type of device or having a TV you're watching as you're supposedly driving down the road. But this is very valid saying that, in my opinion. But the Animoca co-founder Yat Sui tells magazine that there's a much better way forward. Animoca is all over the news in just seed startups, funding news. They're always in the news. I've been seeing this company do quite a bit over the year. DZ, do you have any alpha on Animoca? What do you think about the company?
I mean, that guy is going to be bullish because he has a giant bag.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't trust anything that guy says about,
Yeah.
oh, I'm bullish or bearish on Metaverse. He's going to be supremely bullish, even against the face of evidence. So, like, the guy that has the biggest gold mining company saying, man, I'm bearish on gold, man. I don't know. Like, it just won't happen.
Yeah, and I did like that kind of they're acknowledging that it's not what it needs to be. That's kind of something I appreciated out of it. I
don't think we'll ever, until it's rape bans, we're never going to wear Oculus for a meeting when you can just Zoom. Why would you ever choose that over Zoom? You would never choose that. And Mark Zuckerberg, you watch his interview, it's like, no, it's very important that you see how their pinky moves when they're sitting at the table. Sure, maybe, I don't know, but it's the gain you get from that. It's like, oh yeah, I saw this. I study his microfacial expressions. You just get all of that from a Zoom if they have an okay camera. So I don't really see any real advantage, but I see tons of disadvantages for slapping on an Oculus for a meeting.
Yeah, I mean, people will be falling into wishing wells. Dogs would be getting trampled. Every Pomeranian would probably get stepped on by its owner if everyone's in the Metaverse at that point. So
I know.
I don't think that's
That's a
going to be
good
reality.
point.
Yeah. Yatsui, co-founder of Animoca, said he thinks the reason why so many people in the West, particularly in the U.S., are rejecting NFTs is not because the fact that the NFTs give you ownership. I think the rejection is partly due to shifting sentiments about capitalism. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. And
Eat the Rich narrative's taking stronger hold every year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that stupid movie with what's his face, where they knock on your door, they got the mask on, The Purge.
The Purge.
I don't know if part of
Oh,
it's
yeah.
The Purge, part of it's like Black Mirror episodes, but yeah, there's definitely Eat the Rich is more in vogue today than it was 10 years ago, 20 years
In
ago.
vogue.
Division.
Eat the rich in vogue.
I mean, and I grew up with Occupy Wall Street, and now they're like, they hate billionaires even more now than they did.
Right. You ain't lying.
And I don't think billionaires are a bad thing. I said it.
I mean, they, I've worked.
Jobs.
Yeah, it's nice to have jobs from good paying companies that have a good financial backbone. There ain't nothing that I've found bad about that. You know, for the first time in his life, this fella Sui is saying he's witnessing a strong anti-capitalist sentiment. Definitely, more like crony capitalism. I've seen has been talked about in the libertarian movement heavily. You know, the big five companies holding up the stock market. I didn't feel great about, especially because they're tech companies that look to me to be extremely overvalued before the COVID run. So, yeah, I mean, this guy, he says the news headlines focus on things like the $300,000 Bored Ape NFT and skew perceptions about the entire NFT industry. The average gamer sees this and doesn't appreciate that the average NFT is actually $5 to $10 in-game item. It's like thinking that the entire car industry consists of only Lamborghinis. That's legit.
Good point.
That is legit.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and you know, I think what was your conception of the metaverse? A lot of people talk about it without clearly defining it. Here's what he said. He thinks that we're already in the kind of pre-metaverse. Among the top 20 countries in the world, we spend on average 9 to 10 hours a day online.
That's
Now,
insane.
I'm really glad you guys are here watching the show with us, but man, make sure that you get outside. You know, when I get home, I turn it off. I just walk into the woods and go chase some chickens around. You know
That's
what I
great.
mean? Like, yeah, you got some bees, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
I
got
like
some
being
bees?
outside. I got 2 hives, and it's a new thing for me. But I'm hoping to harvest some honey for the first time this spring.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Exciting.
Saving the world, man. We
Yeah.
need more bees.
Yeah.
We do.
Actually, did
Save
you
the
know
bees.
that bees are not indigenous to our area?
Yes.
Honey
yes.
bees aren't.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
brought over.
I thought that
I
was
did not know that.
interesting.
What?
And so I just wondered how everything got pollinated before that. But
Carpenter and
I guess all the
Bumble.
other
Well,
Well,
varieties.
like butterflies are pollinators, right?
Well, yeah, all those little
Moths.
insects that hop around
Mhm.
from flower to flower.
I'm gonna be
but
trading you eggs for honey then.
heck yeah, man!
You
I
know
want to
what
get
I'm
some
saying?
chickens.
That's awesome.
So I
Hey.
gotta talk to you about
Look
that.
at this insular economy happening right here.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit of barter action.
I'll do
All
some
about
dog fighting. And then
Hey, whoa.
Whoa.
I live in Dallas.
Whoa,
so
whoa,
I'm just trying to
whoa.
fit into the area where I live in.
Did you see that house they caught DZ? This is totally off subject, but they just busted a house in I live near DZ and yeah.
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Dog fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was DZ's neighbor, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Daisy.
I
neighbor.
don't know anything about
Neighbor,
that.
Yeah, not the garage
man.
I ran in the back of that one house.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, we don't want to see that, obviously.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
terrible.
bummer, man.
I mean, this guy, what he's saying some pretty reasonable things. Like, it's hard to imagine like a metaverse that's completely interoperable. I don't think that it'll ever get there, really. You know, this brings up Sandbox. You know, a lot of people talk about Sandbox. In the story we looked at yesterday didn't include Sandbox, which I did find kind of interesting. But the metaverse is like a community nation state. Ugh. What gives it value is its community and network effects embedded in these communities. In order for it to have meaning and value, it needs to have ownership, which then gives the rise to all these other rights and freedoms. that
You
make
had a
the
bad
community
taste in your
powerful.
mouth when you read Community Nation State. You need to read Balaji's network stake thesis. And then when
Okay.
you see that, you'll have a lot better. It's the solution, not a continuation of the problem.
Yeah, well, and it's just me and my hot reaction to the
State.
the police state.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that's definitely something.
Yeah,
that,
long-term Sandbox is a flop. I agree.
yeah, you
They
think
look
so?
so shitty. It's so bad looking.
Yeah,
Look what, Roblox and a Fortnite and, something like that is going to take over.
yeah. It's-
Or other deeds.
what about? Do you think GTA is ever going to get into this?
Yeah, GTA has already signaled that they're, exploring some NFT options. So, yeah, GTA, you look at GTA, you look at Sandbox, it's night and day which one everyone is going to gravitate towards.
Right.
And then with network effects, it's just going to compound the issue that you're not quite as good.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it not quite as good, no one is there. So it's probably going to not do great, in my
Easy.
opinion.
This always circles back to our conversation that we had about like how it's like really hard for like crypto, like anyone can make a crypto, but not anyone can make a video game. So we need people who make video games to add a crypto, not the other way around.
Yes.
Can you
Mhm.
elaborate on that for people that might not understand?
Well, there's 22,000 cryptos, and like anybody in this room, anybody watching, we can figure out how to make a crypto in 4 hours. Could we
Yeah.
make a video game in 4 hours? No. There you go.
perfect.
Brutal. Yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you, when Pokemon Go, if that day comes where they have any involvement with NFTs or Metaverse, I'm going full ham. I'm going to sell my cats. I'm going to sell everything that's hanging around in my house because I feel like Pokemon Go.
You're gonna sell your Meowth?
Not that cat. The other cats. I'll sell my neighbor's cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find me on eBay. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty interesting take. You know, Sandbox. Yeah, it'll have some movement, but it'll be waning. I definitely agree with
Looks
that.
like crap, man.
Looks
Yeah, I
sandy.
mean, look at this. Let's zoom in. Look at, they can't even get a good screenshot because of how horrendous it is.
Oh wow.
I still can't believe that sand went over $8 last bull run. Like the coin itself. Like, do you guys think that sand has that kind of pump in it again, or was that its
'cause
all-time high
that,
forever?
that was a convenience. These two events happened simultaneously. It was Bitcoin was doing great, and then they just announced Meta's huge $100 billion, and we're all like kind of doing this moon math. Like,
Yep.
well, Meta's spending $100 billion over 10 years. Surely this market cap could be like 3 billion, 8 billion. You know, so we're just kind of lying to ourselves.
Right.
Moon math is a dangerous game, man.
Yeah, man.
It catches you right as you're winning the most. Then
Yeah.
you just do some moon math and be like, I haven't won yet. I need more. You know, that's
You start looking at like Bitcoin's market cap, like if it was just 1/10
Yeah.
of this market cap at all-time high.
you're all looking at like the circulating dollar in US and what if it all goes to XRP and everyone thinks, you know, $35,000 a coin. This is amazing. They're going to make us all rich just by accident. It's not how reality works. So,
Fortunately.
yeah, but you know, this is definitely the Sandbox, the social media. Yeah, I'm moving on from this.
Same OG said,
Man
do
is
you
worse.
think Decentraland is worse?
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like Sandbox with less of a budget.
Sad.
It's not
Sad
great.
box.
basically.
Now,
Sandbox.
maybe, dude, honestly, like bull market, maybe they go 5x, 10x, 20x.
Right.
I'm not saying that, you know, metaverses can't have another bull run.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, no one's going to be playing that 5 years from now.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
if I'm holding any like crazy plays like that and they do hit that short-term spike, if you've been buying these crazy options, absolutely.
All right, so good point. Don't look at them now. How could they look at one day in the future? What's Grand Theft Auto going to look like in 5 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot better.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is definitely an evolving and ongoing conversation, but basically, I'm still waiting for the big players, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Pokemon Go. I think it's going to have to work from gaming industry to crypto, not the other way around.
Yep.
Let's check this other one out. I think that this one's a good for just the year. We're going to check this out. The top 5 most Googled cryptocurrencies worldwide. Now, I'm sure you can guess who's number 1. It's gonna be-
Algorand?
Oh God, you're just relentless.
I'm joking.
So, Bitcoin number 1. We got 4.5 million monthly searches, and global monthly searches at 28.5 mil. Shiba Inu coming in number 2. Man, if Shiba goes to a penny, I'm rich. How many times have you guys heard that?
A lot.
Way
How many
too
times?
much.
Some guy at the Home Depot said that to me.
Did he?
Yeah.
I
I told him I worked here, and he was like, "Oh yeah, well if Shiba Inu goes to a penny, I'm gonna be so rich."
You need to stop them right then and there.
They will
Like,
never do that.
Yeah.
No way.
I was like,
Oh
he
my
said,
God.
"Do you think I should sell it now?" I was like, "No, I think you should wait a few years. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll come back a little more."
Maybe it'll be alive by then. Dogecoin. Now, I got a little bit of Doge. I kind of want some more now that I like Elon Musk, just for the fact that I like him. He called the World Economic Forum's calls a philosophy of death on
Man.
Twitter.
I've always liked him. I've always liked the guy.
I was standoffish, and he won me over. I wrote him a love letter on Twitter. He didn't see it, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm not like gonna buy a Tesla or anything, but Elon is pretty cool.
he's
Pretty
pretty
cool.
cool.
Definitely like what he's saying.
Yeah, I like what he's saying. I like what he's doing, but I'm
Fact checking the White House.
Yeah, but I'm suspicious of that. That was pretty cool. But I'm
Anybody that-
suspicious of everyone, and it's like, well, I guess my question is like, what are the motives? I guess
Whose motives? Elon's
Elon's
motives for what?
for all of this that he's doing. He's definitely coming out to be the good guy. I mean, he's
Well,
like everyone's
not to
hero.
oversimplify. It's like he wanted to read Babylon Bee on Twitter. And he's like, what the hell is this? And so I think he saw a little opportunity, and maybe there's like, I think his master plan with Twitter is to create the super app, mimic kind of what they're doing over there in China, WeChat. And it just seems like Twitter might be in the best position to see that to fruition.
He's not being shy about that plan either. Like, he put it out like we are going to copy.
In a weird way, like everything ties back to Mars with Elon Musk. And do you think like, will creating this make a utopian society on Mars? And a super app would. And so, like, it fits with his master plan.
Gosh. I have a hard time trusting anybody that wants to put chips in people's head.
Yeah, it's that. It's that for me.
That's a big one for me.
Yeah.
Does he want to put chips in people's head, or does he see it like it's going to happen anyways? We're trying to help like paraplegic people feel again. We're trying to help blind people see again. I don't think like trying to stop like a blind person from seeing. Why do you want the blind to not see?
Any tool can be used for good or for bad.
Yeah.
And I just have
like
a hard
hammer.
time trusting. Exactly. You can use a hammer to build a house or to break a window.
Yeah, you can cut a brisket or you can stab Nicole Brown.
Once you start putting somebody's, a chip in someone's head, I don't know. I think that's dangerous. And yes, it has a lot of...
It's not... I'm not saying it's safe.
Potential value, but also a lot of potential risk. And that's why I'm on the fence about him. I like what he's saying, though.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are kind of speculating, like maybe he has some like weird mind control plan.
Maybe,
well,
or maybe
not
that
even
he's
mind control, but
maybe that he's
you're
working
putting chips in people's head.
Yeah,
like
someone's going to do it.
How does that not raise a red flag? For
it's going to happen eventually.
Or maybe he's working for.
How does that not raise red flags for people?
It's technology, the way it's going to go. It's eventually we'll all have like doomsday devices in our basement. Like I don't know how much longer we got, exploring technology. So it's like enjoy the ride while we can, man. We might blow up the globe in 10 years. Enjoy the ride.
That's what we've been told since the 60s.
Yeah, and we almost did it. If you look at, that Russia, there's like one Russian guy stopped a nuclear war in the 80s.
You talking about
Bay of Pigs? Are you talking? Or
no,
that was
the Bay of Pigs, 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we almost did it. We almost did it.
99 red balloons. That's where that song's from, just so you know.
It's related, right?
What?
Well, I don't know the guy's name, and I don't know the exact details on it, but yeah, there's like the Russian commander refused orders, and the orders were to launch a nuclear weapon, and he said no.
Oh, good.
And so like we're very close to like who knows what that would have turned out into.
Brutal. Well, Elon's definitely dominating the top of this list here because we have, Dogecoin number 3 and Shiba. It's haphazard competitor at number 2. This is just from, in my opinion, brand new people to the space.
Mhm.
They get told about it from someone else that bought it that's holding 99% down or whatever. Ethereum, obviously number 4. Ethereum, I think, is definitely going to be here for a while. It's probably going to be the smart contract of choice for larger corporations should they decide to move in to utilizing it for their business. Avalanche, God, I am so torn on Avalanche. I hear it brought up as such a great idea all the time. And is there anything that you guys see special with Avalanche that I'm missing here? Is there anything?
I mean, I have a small bag, and it's like I bought it because I saw AVAX this, AVAX that, AVAX everywhere.
I have some. I bought quite a bit actually, and then recently I was gonna buy more and start DCAing in again. And TJ told me not to buy any more AVAX.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I don't know exactly why.
It's centralized, is what I kind of remember.
But then Nick buys it all the time. Doesn't he? I think Nick's all into it too.
Nick
well,
likes
there you
it.
go. It's a good thing you're not
Yeah, that
buying.
might
Do
not
the
be the
opposite
one.
of Nick and you'll succeed.
Oh, God, no.
It's true.
The rest of this is pretty whack. I don't know. It's not horribly whack. I'm only going to say Litecoin once. Or no, wait. Now it's twice. Litecoin at number 6. We got Cardano at number 7. And I've been buying Cardano. I did Cardano.
Yeah, Algorand didn't even make the list.
I know. Algo.
Yeah, no, Nexus.
I don't know what's up with
Safe
that.
Moon.
Yeah.
Safe Moon and Nexus better than Algorand?
Like one thing about this list that is kind of funny, it kind of just goes to show that social metrics are actually a really big deal when it comes to crypto, like just the attention business side of
Absolutely.
crypto. I mean, Dogecoin's market cap is bigger than Cardano's. Dogecoin's market cap is bigger than Avalanche. You know what I mean? Not XRP, but still, like it's what is it? 8th place out with not counting stable coins.
I have a hot
it's
take
like-
on Doge. Doge, similar to Bitcoin, sure that is realized market cap, but Doge next to Bitcoin, probably has the highest amount of coins just lost forever. The amount of people, like Jack used to work here. Oh yeah, I had, you know, this Doge to be worth $20,000, but it was on a laptop from 5 years ago. So I think Doge, yeah, that is the real market cap, but that's not the real circulating supply.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Interesting.
Point.
Yeah, like Doge, you can. Did Elon ever actually do that thing where you can mine Doge? And like, I remember he was like trying out hot tub systems or like random motors.
Do y'all think he's the biggest holder of Doge? There's a lot of rumors
Yeah.
that he is that whale wallet that no one
probably
knows the identity of.
What?
But like, there's a lot of speculation it is him.
Oh my
I
god!
could
I think
definitely
it is.
see that,
I think
yeah.
it is.
I didn't think it was, and I can't remember. It was like a year and a half ago. I remember seeing some evidence where I was like, oh, I think it is him, but I can't recall exactly what it was.
Yeah, and you know, to all the newbies in crypto, for the love of God, please stay away from SafeMoon.
Yeah.
You know,
Seriously.
I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart. We're here to do well, and not get stuck in Ponzi schemes. So, basically, this is the next story. I felt like this is a project I've been watching for a long time. I feel pretty good about, and we saw a little bit of integration with MetaMask today. Proximity Labs developed NETH, a smart contract that enables the compatibility between MetaMask and the Near blockchain. Tons of people use
Makes me
MetaMask.
bullish. I bought Near off this news.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I
You were
matched
serious.
my previous amount. I bought a small bag at $4, and I matched the amount that I had,
Oh,
but
man.
at $1 something. So I was
See,
able
you're
to-
giving me
at a
FOMO
fraction
now.
of the price. I was able to double my bag.
See, now I have FOMO. for
Here's the
missing
thing:
out.
Consensus runs MetaMask. Consensus is like when you think of the old guard, ETH whales, VC money,
Yep.
closed door, you know, like all those little crypto funds. It's Consensus and MetaMask is like hand in hand, and the fact that Near is brought onto MetaMask makes me think that those institutional players have giant bags of this, and so that means bullish price action
So
as they dump on retail in 2 years.
I wrote
I will be dumping on you. So if you don't buy it now,
Dump with us.
You're gonna buy in 2 years. I'm gonna dump on you.
Or dump with us.
So I wrote a script on Near probably like a month ago, and then it ended up getting shelved because we're not talking as much about altcoins right now. We might bring the script back later, but yeah, I could just like kind of go over some like highlights of that script that are like super important. Like DZ, what you said about it having like big VC money. It is backed by Andreessen Horowitz, DCG, Coinbase Ventures, Tiger Globals,
There you go.
Pantera
Tiger,
Capital,
DCG,
Electric,
huge.
Dragonfly Capital. I mean, Near
biggest names.
Near has some big money. They're well funded.
It's what Solana is supposed to be.
What
Probably.
separates Near from the crowd is that they're doing something that Ethereum isn't doing, which is sharding.
Mm.
So they already have this thing called Nightshade, which is their proof of stake sharding mechanism. So they're already doing that. I mean, the amount of what Bitcoin uses power wise. Hold on, let me find that quote. It says something about Near consumes in a year the same energy Bitcoin consumes in 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's
okay.
that's a bar. Yeah, there. I could go through a lot more of this script, but for the sake of time, keep your eye on Near. Do some homework on it. I mean, you can code it with Rust or Java, which is really good, especially for new upcoming developers. They have really easy SDK kits, stuff like that. The Aurora community, which is their layer 2, like at the Ethereum's
I'll
Matter.
tell you the real reason that Rust news is huge.
Yeah.
Rust. Who knows what Rust is used for?
BJ has explained it as basically a way to block.
What coin?
I don't know.
Casper.
Is it
Casper uses Rust.
Solana.
Solana?
Okay,
Who
okay.
just had thousands of devs. I need something to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go?
Good.
Well,
point.
Probably going to Near.
That's actually funny you say
Ooh.
that because Casper actually picked up a lot of the dead Solana projects. Once a lot of that started to fall through, Casper picked up a good handful of those as well.
That's a-
AJ, did you say
point.
sharding?
Yeah, sharding.
Yeah,
Do we know what
sharding.
sharding means?
Did you check your
Anybody
pants?
want? I can explain sharding.
It
I
doesn't
guess.
sound
It's a
very
scaling
bullish.
mechanism.
Let's get it. What is sharding?
What does it mean though?
What is it?
Can we get into
Sharding. Just think of a shard. Shard. What's a shard?
with
A
a
shard
D?
of glass. Shard of glass. So like a mirror. You got a giant mirror, and so when you look at a blockchain and you're supposed to look at every single transaction that's on the blockchain, it's immutable. You have to look at the entire mirror. So it's like a whole bunch of computing power. Sharding means I just look at one shard of glass from this mirror. You look at a shard of glass. You look at a shard of glass. You look at a shard, and they're all different sizes. They're all different shapes. Sometimes they overlap. And then when the snapshot is taken, oh, you see a complete mirror.
Right.
But I don't have to have the entire mirror on my, like little computing on my laptop. You don't have to have the entire thing on your laptop. You don't have to have it. We all just have this like little shard.
Yeah.
But when you zoom out, it's a complete pane of glass. That's just like my
Thank you for that
Yeah,
explanation.
elementary
I
way.
love
of it.
your
It's way
explanation.
off. Like people who know the tech would probably screaming at me right now. But
Yeah.
that's probably the best way I can
We're trying to
describe it.
bridge the gap here. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check out how this NETH thing that was created for the MetaMask integration to Near works. So NETH enables Ethereum addresses to remote
Cold
control.
War was the 80s. Aha!
was
I
just
just
reading
didn't
that
want to
too.
disagree with Drew. I was like, man, Drew probably knows better than me. But yeah, I thought it was the 80s. Yeah.
I
Was
know
it?
had something to do with the keys too.
Hmm.
The 3 keys being turned.
I always think of that 99 Red Balloon song. My head just goes straight to that song every time we talk about things like that. But it looks like ETH addresses are remote control of paired Near accounts via signing transactions. The NETH is deployed on the Near blockchain, enables direct interaction with Near decentralized applications or dApps using Ethereum wallets like MetaMask. Okay. The NETH smart contract works as follows. It verifies the signature sent from an Ethereum account, recovers the Ethereum public address. If verification is successful, then it executes the transaction as long as it matches the addresses from the initial NETH setup, according to Proximity Labs. Pretty interesting concept, and it's definitely good to see them working on, basically getting this exposure to MetaMask is obviously huge, but making the operation of these cryptos a more user-friendly experience, I think, is one of the most important things for crypto projects in general to focus on. We in crypto, we get used to these, difficult to overcome hurdles. Not really difficult, but it takes time to learn about. You need to know what you're doing. You need to remember your password to this and that and the other thing. So making it as user-friendly as possible from chain to chain would be awesome. MetaMask, I have it on my browser right now. It plugs in really well. So I like the system a lot. Let's check out where is Near's price at. I'm going to check this out real quick. Let's see where we're at. Kind of jealous.
Yeah,
Deep.
$1.35. I
Wow.
bought it like $4.25 or something. Can you hit year to date?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so you can see, I don't know, around
Yeah,
4. So
all-time
I thought
high's
I was
like
buying the
20.
dip. Like,
Yeah, you bought about-
$4 is the accumulation range.
Yeah, you bought around right in this area right here. Obviously, we are in Wrecktown right now.
Yep. So
But,
you know what? Yeah, doubled my bag for a fraction of the price.
That's the thing about DCA. That's the power of DCA right there, man. You bought at $4, and now that we're all the way down to 135, your average entry point, depending on whatever you bought, the amount you bought, but you have an ability to kind of even out that original purchase at $4 that feels a little bit painful right now, feels a little bit better if it's a project you actually believe in, you think has a chance or a strong ability to be a player in the next bull run. Then your average entry point is not that bad. You increase your return on investment. Should it be?
I dropped it from like 425 to 275.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
My average price now is 275. If I buy again, just kind of do quick napkin math here, 750. It'd be lower, not as much, but now we're looking at like 240, 230.
Right.
So it really starts to lower.
Right. It's super important to do. And,
Here's a competing L1.
competing L1.
Yeah.
I like buying L1s too. I know Johnny is always talking about, what is this, FAR protocol?
It's the opposite of FAR protocol.
Oh, my
He
God.
is
Puns
riddled
also
with
said-
puns.
Riddled with
That's
puns
funny.
strikes again. Yes, Near is the opposite of
You
FAR
got riddled.
protocol. Absolutely riddled. But yeah, I mean, like, there's projects that I've been watching ICP forever. I got out of my bags before the big crash, thank God. But it's one that I rebought back into. It's a project that I feel strongly about. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of interest in Near just from being able to cover it. I watch the news. Me and Johnny go over the news. Near's been mentioned quite a bit. It's got a pretty strong community from what we can see. And that's definitely going to be one that I'm going to be watching. Do we have any good questions?
I have a question from the chat. Yeah, crypto code 88. If Ethereum does go fully deflationary in the 24-25 bull run, how high could it go? Will it make a bigger difference than a regular bull run?
Ooh, that's a tough one. ETH going deflationary?
Yeah, if ETH does go fully deflationary in the next bull run, how high could it go? Will it make a bigger
I mean, in
difference?
theory, yeah, it's going to be bullish. In theory,
Right.
you know, who knows what the next bull run will look like. What my target for ETH? I don't think 10K is in the works. I'm feeling a little bit better around like 68, and obviously huge sell pressure at 6,900, especially $42.
Yeah.
So I think 7 is a little bit lofty. I'd be pretty surprised if we go above 7K.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be real happy, but
that's what I was thinking. Like probably 6 to 7 range as well. I mean, if we got back to old all-time highs, that would be glorious. But you never know.
Yeah, I'm looking at 8. Last bull run, I was trying to get to 10 because I was on the hype train that we're going to 100K Bitcoin, going to scale out at 10K.
I thought 6,900.
Did
I
you?
was thinking 69. Yeah, I never really thought 10. I never thought 100. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, never.
Well, I mean, I did like early in the bull, but
And when I watch the diminished returns, the data that we have now on the last bull run compared to the one before that, and I'm only really expecting Bitcoin to double and Ethereum to at least like 2 to 3x. So
okay, so you see like 138.
what for a Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like 140K is going to be. I better be all the way out of my
So
Bitcoin.
I'm thinking 95.
Yeah,
I'm yeah.
I'm gonna start
I
selling
don't
at
plan on
90.
holding any Bitcoin above 100K.
yeah. I'm definitely going to start selling at 90. My plan is to do 25% at 90 if it hits there. You know. Or just follow the time frame rather. I'm not going to be so stuck to the number that I have in my mind. I'm going to be more stuck to the time frame of how these things have historically went up and down and the ebb and flow of the market in general. Try to keep me more insulated. Like I did sell Ethereum when we were at the top, but it felt like the biggest mistake of my life.
I sold some Ethereum. Yeah, I sold almost everything I had at the top,
Yeah.
and I was regretting it.
Yeah,
I
you feel like an idiot.
luckily was trying to get money for a down payment for a home.
Mhm.
So I'm like, God, I'm such a sucker for selling this $4,500 ETH.
Yep. I know that feeling,
A little bit
man.
happy now though.
And when my twins were born, I had to get a minivan. I had to sell my cool little Toyota RAV4 I just bought and buy a minivan, and it forced me into doing it. I like the minivan, and I like the fact I sold because now it's all house money. Thank
Yeah.
God. So yeah, basically, Near is looking pretty hot to me. I gotta say, and I'm pretty pessimistic about any. I don't like blockchains that just copy and paste white papers. I don't like seeing the exact same verbiage used for literally the exact same thing. There's got to be something special, something unique about it that has a potential. All of this is perspective developing technology. So you have to think about the potential use cases. What you see are the needs right now.
Clowning your RAV4.
Cool
I
RAV4
love-
doesn't compute you.
I love RAV4.
Yeah,
Well,
they're good.
Kanye said it best. Why the F you think I rap for? To push a
Hey.
effing RAV4?
Hey,
Yeah.
Kanye's gonna rap about it.
Bars.
That's
Well,
pretty
I
cool.
like my RAV, and I have an FJ Cruiser, so there's that.
Neat.
I built a 71 Chevy K10 at the time, but I won't go down that.
AJ's near proof of stake.
Nearest proof of stake.
Proof of stake.
Yes.
He's really selling it with his confidence.
Nearest proof of stake. Nearest, I had to think about it for a sec. Yeah, nearest proof of stake.
Well, I'm
100.
glad you just wrote that or looked into this thing because you're giving me some insight. And I've been watching it for some time. It's definitely one that hasn't fallen as hard as, I mean, it's definitely down. Like, let's see here. How much is it? Was it at its top?
Near
Yeah, it was
20.
Yeah, $20.
like $20. $20. So,
This could be a 30x.
Yeah.
This could be a 40x. I
Right.
don't think it's 100.
Right.
But I think we might have a 20x here.
Yeah, it was right below $21. Right below 20.
oh my God, doing the show gave me an absolute FOMO.
Yeah,
This
I don't
cost me money coming to
This
work
could
today.
match what a lot of, I don't know, there's these weird psychological levels. A lot of coins like to go up to $50.
Yeah.
$20, and then $50, then $100.
Dude, I should have sold my link.
Rare is the coin that only goes to 40, or rare is the coin that only goes to 60,
Yeah.
70. Like if it's $70, $100 is not that far out of the realm of possibility.
Right. When Chainlink broke that $50 mark, I knew I should have sold it.
God, I sold so little.
Dude.
I sold like 10.
Oh.
Something stupid.
You're not stupid.
Take profits when you have and set goals. Know what you need out of, your financial moves.
I
Set-
joke about Chainlink all the time. I'll tell you all my real Chainlink story. I bought most of it at $2 and sold most of it at $4.
Did you?
That's my real Chainlink story.
That's
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough.
It seemed smart at the time. It was like 2019 or something. I don't know what I was doing.
Oh man. Well, man, I think that, today, where we are right now, obviously everyone's frozen from the winter freeze. We're going into Christmas. Probably not going to see that great of a pump or anything like that. I wouldn't plan on any sort of amazing reversal in the markets in the short term. My best recommendation, find dry powder. Enjoy. Yeah, exactly.
No, AJ's in the room. We can't check.
Easy.
Not that kind.
Find your dry powder. Enjoy, embrace the suck. Okay. You have
What?
to embrace the suck. That's what you have to do. You have to
Okay.
find money.
What kind of clubs you be going to
Yeah,
in
what are we-
Atlanta, man?
I don't go to clubs. I don't have any.
Oh, okay.
clubs.
They
is
don't
this a
call them
truck
clubs.
stop?
I think that's a Marines thing.
Oh, okay.
Embrace the suck.
It is.
Ooh.
So, just be used to it. You have to.
When he says choke yourself on my hand, what body part do you put there?
Oh, man, that's a hard call. Probably the. I won't go there.
Watch Full Metal like
Yeah, I was about to say
ago.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Choke yourself.
Well, it's been an awesome show, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Everyone in the chat, you were awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Allie, Tyler,
Drew.
Deezy, AJ. Thank you for running the
Taco.
board.
Thank
And
you.
Taco. Don't
Taco
forget
had to
Taco.
leave a little bit early, but
Yeah.
yes,
you,
He chose the
Crypto Thorn.
basement over food.
yeah, and that's how much he cares.
Dedication. His
Thank
name's
you.
Taco.
Hellfire Spawn. Thank you. Sofa King. Thank you, Paw Earth King. Bubba's Crypto. Thank you guys all for coming to hang out with us.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Until
Merry
next
Christmas.
time.
Yeah. See some of y'all at 5 p.m.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.